Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. This is P Valley, y'all. Okay, we are back after we had this break, honey. All right, we had time to relax, relate, release, woosah. And now we are back in the pink, okay? And this is season 2, episode 7, Jackson. Okay, so we back at it, right? Down in the valley where the girls get naked. If you're throwing them bands, then you know she gonna shake it. 1, 2, breaker. 3, 4, breaker. All right. So we actually are going back, honey, back into time with Miss Ernestine. All right. We are seeing her going through, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. We start out with our girl, Miss Ernestine, having her little beehive hairdo, okay? Her pink gown flowing, the feathers around her neck, and she talking about, Aretha Franklin. That's what I'm gonna do, okay? Knock on your door. Tap on your window pane. I said, I know that's right. Miss Ernestine, get it, girl. All right, I am here for every minute of it, okay? And then we seeing her with her long flowing curls hanging down. We transition from that to her with her afro. And let's not get it twisted. All right, Miss Loretta Devine is the original Dandada of the Dream Girls, okay? She is not new to this. She's true to this. Put all the respect on her name and give her all her flowers, all right? She is the queen of queens, and I love me some Loretta Devine. And so we also are just kind of getting a history lesson. Like, we know that, Uncle Clifford has had this in his family through generations or whatever, but we are getting to really see that backstory, or at least a piece of it. And we're also seeing Uncle Clifford as a little boy hanging out here in the club, okay? And so that is letting us know how long he's been around his grandmother and how close, well, she is to him. And we see, that even as a little boy, she was basically running out and had this pocketbook, honey, and her mother was like picking her up, saying, all right, now it's it's grown folks time, and snatching her up while she was running through the club. And so then it transitions and we get in Grandma Ernestine now in today. And she's looking confused, now the music is off and it's getting dark, and we seeing this person walking towards her, a beautiful chocolate woman, okay, in this white gown with a drink in her hand. And she walked towards her and she's basically looking to see who this is. And we hear the person say, mama, okay, it's time for you to come on. We ready for you, all right? You have done enough, it's time, mama. Basically, you could go ahead and have your rest now. Come rest and have yourself a drink. And so Grandma Ernestine is basically like, oh, no, baby, I can't do that right now, honey. Not now, And I said, oh, Lord, that's how we starting this episode off. Y'all gonna do it to us like that? I see what y'all doing, P-Valley. I said, Grandma not ready, and I'm not ready either, honey. Y'all know how it is when they start seeing people and people are coming to them. Okay, that's not a good sign. And last time we had the last episode, she was calling out to her daddy. So, I said, Lord, P-Valley, y'all playing games, honey. Y'all trying to, make my blood pressure go up. So then we see in Clifford, she up here in the damn pink with no mask on. I said, Cliff, where is your mask, honey? So, Autumn come walking in, and Autumn is basically like, I thought we were supposed to be meeting outside. She's like, shouldn't you be home? And Clifford is like, bitch, this is my home, okay? Autumn was talking about, I thought you was trying to ghost me. And Uncle Clifford was like, I'm not the ghost, that you need to be worried about. And so she basically was like, listen, don't come in here talking to me about no damn house. This is more my house than it is yours. I've slept on that couch back there, more times than you. And I've been up in here since I was yay high, okay? I got a whole bunch of memories in here, all right? This is basically where I grew up at, And so she started to tell her, like, you think you just bought a club, but this is much more than that. She was like, you bought history here. She said, my great granddaddy, Honeycomb, basically, got shot over there over a craps games. His granddaddy, Clyde, that used to work in a damn, you know what I'm saying, cow fields. We used to sit right there and drink his corn liquor, okay? My grandmother got up on this stage and sung her daggone heart out every night, all right? She basically, you know what I'm saying, would open up her mouth and, you know what I'm saying, let heaven and hell pour out on a Saturday night. So let's get it straight. You know what I'm saying? She was like, this is full of unsung memories. And so, you know, Autumn says history is important. Yes. She said, but, you know, so is the future. And so basically, you know, Clifford said, look, you know, look at here, girl. All right. She said, we've been at each other's throats and it ain't been getting nobody nowhere. It ain't doing not a bit of good. She said, you know, I'm out of ideas short of killing you. And so Autumn was like, well, you wouldn't be the first to try. And, you know, Clifford was like that part. Okay. And at this point, I'm pretty sure he's like, listen, bitch, I could see why they want to kill you if you was coming at them the way you've been, you know what I'm saying, coming at me and irking my damn nerves. And so Clifford told her, you know, all the thing that's left to do is for them to talk. And so she was like one boss bitch to the next one. Okay. And so, you know, Autumn is saying, no matter what you say, you're not going to change my mind. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to talk me out of selling. And so she was like, I know you think this is just a building that's crumbling on top of swampland, but again, it's so much more than that. You know what I'm saying? It's all I got. And so Autumn basically was like, you know, she gets that or whatever, but she was like, she didn't save this off the auction block for it to go down in flames. You know, Clifford is saying, well, we're up to code now. You know what I'm saying? And Autumn is basically saying, but what about when we start having problems again? How much longer will it be before it gets shut down? She was like, I mean, look what just happened to Ernestine. And baby, she should have never said that, because Clifford jumped up and was like, keep my damn grandma name out your damn mouth, okay? And so she was like, Autumn says 6 feet, 6 feet. Okay, you've been in close contact. But I said, girl, Autumn, you've been in close contact too. All of y'all have been exposed. So what are you talking about? You was around Toy as well. You all were. You know, you making points, but then you not, honey. You contradicting yourself. And so, you know, Autumn starts to tell her the referendums is going to pass no matter what. This casino is going to come. At least with me buying the pink, I was just prolonging the inevitable, all right? She says, you know, at the end of the day, the best we can hope for is that the pink would actually get what it's worth, you know? And so Uncle Clifford was like, well, what, pray tell, is the price on the land that my ancestors died on? And, you know, Autumn was like, we could start with 5 million. Okay. That is basically what, Promised Land just offered me, you know. And Clifford looking like, wait a minute. And so she was like, but I'm not going to take it. And so, you know, Uncle Clifford was like, bitch, what? And then was like, well, I mean, good, but bitch, what? You know what I'm saying? And so I was laughing because I could see both sides. I see Autumn as this businesswoman, right, that doesn't have anybody. The only thing she had was her daughter. She doesn't understand the foundation of being like, I have a history that's built with a family, because from what we see of her, she doesn't have family and friends like that, right? And I could see Uncle Clifford aspect of the history and the family, and this being the only thing that is her legacy that's left to her, right? But it seems like this is maybe the second or third time that we see, if the dollar amount is right, Uncle Clifford may want to jump on it, okay? And I feel like Uncle Clifford got to up her game up too and start thinking about it in a business aspect, put her business mind in, and get on that same level like Autumn. Maybe not necessarily in the same way, but look at it in an aspect of, okay, well, I could have several different pinks, right? And then if they build up this casino, get a percentage in that too, and put a pink up in that damn casino too, honey. Let them freaking attach that in there some kind of way, you know? You got to start going for yours as well. But in the meantime, Autumn is telling her, listen, I said I wanted 10 and I'm trying to get that 10 point blank, period. All right. And she ain't trying to go for nothing less. And she was like, I'm going to get you what you deserve, Clifford, and your ancestors too. But Clifford was basically like, nah, sweetheart. Don't come in here with that mess. Don't piss in my mouth and tell me it's Kool-Aid. Okay. She was like, this ain't about me or my ancestors, child. This is about you and only you, you know. And Autumn started talking about, it's about the money that I used to save this damn club. That's the money that I lost my daughter over. She was like, you know, that money was supposed to give us a new life. And this is not about inheritance. This is about my right to my dream. And I'm not going to let it go to waste. She was like, you know what I'm saying? I can't do that. And she was like, you know what I'm saying? I owe it to her. I have to do that for her. And so, you know, Uncle Clifford was like, but baby, but honey, but child, but boo, but Haley, you know what I'm saying? She's gone, baby. That baby is gone. All right. And so Autumn looked like that was a freaking gut punch, okay? Like that brought her back down to reality. Like she forgot about it for a minute, you know what I'm saying? She's getting lost in the source of what she is really doing this for. And so then we get Mercedes on the phone and she telling, you know what I'm saying, Michelle, that get on my damn nerves, that she think, you know what I'm saying, if they be, you know, her and Tarika might need to spend a little bit more time together, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, well, she already been there 2 days. She was like, girl, 2 days, she been here 3. What the hell you talking about? Okay, so Shell don't even know what the hell is going on. And she was like, you know, let her come on and hang out with me a little bit longer. And that way you have more time to get yourself better. You know, Shell over here talking about, well, make sure that she don't wear no more floors. She said, girl, make sure you don't go on no damn joy rides, all right, after drinking 2 to 3 cases of Moscato. And then, you know, Shell want to sit there and hang up the damn phone because she ain't want to hear that. So, you know what I'm saying, Sadie's go ahead in the room with Tarika, and she basically was like, you know, what are you gonna do, girl? What is you fitting to do? This girl over here talking about, well, I don't know, I done finished my schoolwork, you know what I'm saying? I had this racist paper to do on who was it? Huck Finn. And she was like, you know, why don't we just go and get our nails did or something like that? Hang out. We could paint my room out, you know. And Mercedes was like, girl, this ain't no HDTV project. What are you talking about? Like, wake up, okay? We got business to handle. This is a serious situation. You got to start making some daggone decisions. And so, you know, Tarika keep telling her, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ready to talk about that, but I know I'm craving some cookie dough, silver ice cream, and crushed Oreos with hot sauce on top. I said, girl, what? And you know what I'm saying? Mercedes was like, oh, child, yeah, you definitely are pregnant. She said, well, come on, get yourself together. We're going to go to TCBY. And, you know, here go Tarika talking about, can I drive? Mercedes was like, hell no. And I feel like Tarika is trying to play 2 roles at one time. On one side, you want to be the little girl. You want to be like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't make no decisions. The other side, you want to act like you a know-it-all. And you know what I'm saying, like you would make such better decisions and be such a better person than Mercedes would. And I also feel like she just trying to take advantage and use this time to spend time with Mercedes that she don't normally get, and make it seem like, you know, we just here to party and have fun. And it's like, no, girl, we here to figure out what you're gonna do. And I get it that, you know, her emotions is all over the place. Her hormones is probably over the place. I have to keep reminding myself that she just a child, honey, because sometimes these kids on these shows with this damn disrespect, honey, it don't be doing it for me, you know. But we getting little Murder. He's sitting on the couch, he's smoking, and he getting flashes of teak, right? Of course, he is still going to keep remembering this, and he's traumatized by this, right? Nobody is shocked by that. And we see that he's just caught up in the moment. We also see that Uncle Cliff had burned up, you know what I'm saying, the clothes that he came in. And so basically we see that he's starting to cry, you know, he have a tear coming down, but then he start hearing Ernestine coughing, and that kind of snaps him out of, you know, just laying there being in that moment. And he got head upstairs with his mask on, and he's basically like rise and shine. And so, you know, Miss Ernestine talking about some Isaac Hayes, and he like, nah, you know what I'm saying, it's Lamarcus. She was like, who? And so he was like, little Murder. She was like, oh, okay, that's more better. All right, that is what I know you as, and that's what I'm gonna call you. So he says, you know, we gonna have you come on and eat a little something. She was like, I'm not eating none of that damn chicken and dressing that Clifford made. He was like, well, that's why I made you a little something, you know what I'm saying, myself, because she was saying that damn food from Clifford would take her out before Rona do. So she was like, uh-oh, wait a minute, what we got here? She said smothered pork chops. She was like, you know what I'm saying, candy yams. Oh, wait a minute, a little collard greens and cornbread. I said, all right now, little Murder, come through. So she was like, you know, he says, you know, most times people are using their sense of smell, but he was like, I see you still got it. She said, honey, that's all I still got is my senses. All right, that's all I got left. So she started tasting the food, and she was like, yes. She was like, that's what I'm talking about. All right now, Chef Negro RD, I see you. That cracked me up. So she basically was like, you know, he said he aims to please. And she was like, well, don't please too much, honey, because you will cause an old bitch, you know what I'm saying, to get used to having you around. And he was like, now, Miss Ernestine, quit flirting with me. She said, I'm not the old bitch, you know what I'm saying, that I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. And he said, well, maybe put in a good word for me with Clifford. And she said, you keep cooking like that and I will. All right. And so I thought that was really cute. And so then she was saying she smelled something else though. And he was like, well, I got some peach cobbler in the oven. I said, damn, little murder, you got peach cobbler too? Like, come on over to my place, honey. So she said, no, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a different smell. She said, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the smell of death, honey. And we know that since the beginning of this season, we really have been overflowing and shout, you know, like a shadow of death has been going around, whether it was the game they was playing, okay, whether it was the deaths that, you know what I'm saying, was foreshadowing. And, you know, definitely have been worried about him and Mississippi since the beginning of the season, and now worried about Miss Ernestine ever since this COVID came into play. And so she basically was just letting him know, like, and I smelt it on you that night too when you got here. And she was like, all that blood. And so that was just another example that, you know, Miss Ernestine may be sick and she might have, you know what I'm saying, some of her sight loss, honey, but she still is very intuitive and paying attention to what is going on. So then we go from that and we see in Keyshawn and Derek at the daggone, you know, supermarket. I guess this is what he thinks is supposed to woo her and make her feel special, that he's taking her out to trips on the supermarket. But in all reality, she's just still a prisoner. It's either she have to stay in the damn house or she can't even come out by herself. He's coming with her. And he did talking about some, oh, you want some moon pies? You know, you want some damn Lays with hot sauce? I know how you love that. You know, come on, Keyshawn, I'm trying. As if she's supposed to be like, oh, Derek, you're trying. I'm so happy and excited and thankful, you know. And so then he gonna talk about, oh, I got an idea. Why don't we go head over to, you know what I'm saying, Jackson tomorrow to where the outlets are and get baby Regal some damn product booty. She said no, all she gonna do is outgrow them. So she sees somebody peeking, I see somebody peeking, we look and it's Autumn. And she's like, Derek, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna go get some makeup for my face. And we could, you know, obviously see that there's still a big bruise on her damn top of her damn forehead. So he said, okay, meet us at the checkout. So she go over to the aisle where, you know what I'm saying, Miss Autumn is, and Autumn talking about, oh, I thought I would find you here. I said, well, how the hell she knew she was going to find her here? You know, is this a daily routine that her and Derek do? Did she go check the house first? We don't know. But nonetheless, she takes down Keyshawn's mask because Keyshawn was trying to just turn her face to the side. Honey, she got a big black and blue here, honey. All right. And I don't think that's still from the last time. I think that's probably something new. And so, you know, Autumn is saying, I guess you decided not to use my gun, huh? And Keyshawn says, I tried, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? I have kids. And before she could finish, Autumn said, look, there's other ways to get out, honey. And then, you know, you hearing Derek calling her. So she was like, I gotta go. And I said, well, let me find out. Wait a minute. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, there is still a chance for Miss Autumn. Yeah, is she the one that's going to come through and help Keyshawn? All right, we shall see. So then we get Clifford come in the house and he talking about some, hello, you know, grandmama Ernestine, little homicide. She killed me with that because she be calling him everything but little murder. So she like, nobody ain't answering me. What's going on? I know this nigga didn't leave my grandma and without her insulin. And she like, oh, Lord, maybe it's a carbon monoxide leak. So when she get upstairs, little murder's like, what's up? She was like, bitch, you had me thinking it was a home invasion and the Chuckalisa Strangler got your ass. I said, now cut it out, damn Clifford. You know damn well ain't no strangler come in and get them. So she talking about, you know, did you check her temperature? He said, yep, it was 101. Did you check her sugar? Yep, it was 120. It's about to say, did you do it? He said, look, I did everything on the list. Okay, she is good. So she was like, I just don't understand it. How the heck did she get COVID and I didn't? You know what I'm saying? And little murder was like, it's no rhyme or reason. You may as well not even wreck your brain about that. You know what I'm saying? Some things we just not gonna understand. And that was something else that would happen, guys, right? Sometimes some people could have had it, didn't know they had it, right? They would be asymptomatic. They wouldn't really have symptoms. It would not affect them as bad. Whereas somebody else, especially an elderly person, a person with a, you know, pre-existing condition like diabetes, you know, somebody that's overweight and different things like that was the people that we seen that would be suffering the most with it. And so, of course, that's what we see happening with Miss Ernestine. And he's basically, you know, taking a towel and wiping off her face and everything like that. Little Murder been in there really taking care of grandma. And I love him and appreciate him for that. And so he asked her, you know, you want to eat? And she said, yeah. So when she get down there, you know, she eating this food. She was like, She said, yeah, I could see why she didn't want to eat my chicken and dressing, okay, when she got this. And so he asking what happened with, you know, her and old girl, okay, on them night. And she was like, listen, all them Lakeisha and Robin, Fenty, she has me cracking up with her names for people. She was like, she ain't dumb. Some kind of way she did get, you know, Promised Land Crackers to offer her $5 million. So Little Murder was like, okay, that's 33%. That's $1.65 for you, huh? And so, you know, Uncle Clifford was like, okay, what you said, little calculator, you know, again, calling him some other name. So he was like, well, you don't seem too happy about that. And she was like, well, I don't know, you know. And he was like, well, money comes and go. And she was like, oh, well, look at you. Let me find out your Tina Snow, you know, royalties is rolling in already, okay? And so, you know, he was like, I mean, think about it. He was like, you probably already done swept up 1.65 off the floor in the pink in a lifetime. He was like, you know, you can't take it with you. I said, okay, Little Murder, come through with those facts, you know. And so she was like, well, I thought you said you chose money over love. He was like, yeah, well, at one time I probably, you know what I'm saying, did, and I usually do. But right now I've learned that some things is more important, honey. I said, okay, Little Murder. He was like, you know, people that you need and want in your life. And so she basically was like, you know, I'm busy over here talking about me or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? How are you? Just, you know, trying to switch the subject. And so Little Murder was like, I'm straight. And she was like, well, you sure about that? Because, you know what I'm saying, I was hearing you crying while you was laying on that couch last night. Now he gonna get up and go over to the sink, putting his glass in the sink, and I guess want to pretend like he want to check on that damn, you know, peach cobbler that he got in the oven. And he say, I don't know what you talking about. And so, you know, Uncle Clifford gets up and was like, I'm gonna go ahead and look for an outfit for you since it looks like you gonna be here for another night. I said, now y'all know damn well that he probably gonna be there for another night, for more than another night, but we gonna let you, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and with that. So we get, you know, Mercedes and Terica riding in the car, and we hearing, you know what I'm saying, WAP, okay, Cardi and Megan on the damn radio, and Terica talking about there's some hoes in this house, there's some hoes in this house, you know what I'm saying. She's singing along, talking about certified freaks 7 days a week, and Mercedes is just looking at her, and she talking about, you know, wet ass pussy make that pull out game weak. And Mercedes turned it off and was like, I know damn well you ain't sitting here talking about some weak pull out game in your condition. You know, Terica gonna say, how do you think I got in this position? And Mercedes was like, clearly by being dumb, okay? And so that just, I'm sorry, I know it's not a funny situation, but it did make me laugh at the same time. And she was like, you know, next time that you slip up, let me know, because you have 72 hours and I could get a plan B situation. So here comes Terica talking about, oh, now you want to have a sex talk. And Mercedes was like, what are you talking about? We had the talk. She was like, no, you didn't. All you ever said is keep your legs closed to these nappy headed boys because they only want one thing. And Mercedes was like, well, that's still good advice, okay? So she was like, if you would have listened, you wouldn't have ended up like this, okay? So of course they still keep, you know, bumping heads. And she's asking her, you know, how far along are you? How many periods did you miss? You know, Terica don't seem to know nothing. Every time you start asking her about something pertaining to that, she either get quiet or be like, I don't know. And so, you know, Mercedes said if you wasn't even getting your period's regular, or you don't even know enough about it, then you really shouldn't have been having no damn sex, right? And so basically Terica just pouting and looking out the window when she says that. So Terica sees that they passing the TCBY, and she was like, wait a minute, where we going? You know, Mercedes, where are you taking me? And Mercedes says that they're going to Jackson, and she was like, it's only one thing you're going to Jackson for. She was like, are you driving an hour and a half out the way to go to the TCB over there? So she was like, Terica, we running out of time. And Terica's like, running out of time for what? So she started carrying on, talking about, let me out of here, let me out of here, pull over, pull over, pull over. At one point I thought she might have even pulled the damn steering ring well, but she didn't. So Mercedes pulled over, and we see that she is getting sick. She's throwing up, whatever have you. So she's basically saying to her, you ambushed me. She was like, you know, and Mercedes said, because you've been hiding in the damn house for 3 days, and we got to do something about this baby. We got to figure out what you want to do. And so, you know, you got to start thinking. And so Terica saying, I will, give me a chance. It's like, girl, you don't have but so much a chance. You gotta find out answers. She was like, whether we gonna be getting you, you know what I'm saying, prenatal vitamins, or we gonna be taking care of it. She was like, when are you gonna do it? When you damn in the delivery room, when the damn baby is graduating from PK? She was like, when are you going to decide? This decision has to be made. You know what I'm saying? And so she basically was like, you know, Terica talking about some just stop, and Mercedes grabs her and was like, listen, this is a life and death situation, you know what I'm saying, for us. She was like, you got to be serious about this. She said, you know, you have women every day that be dying. You have Beyonce and Serena basically almost die when they was giving birth. And so she's like, die? She was like, yes. You know what I'm saying? She was like, and they were in 14 with their hips barely coming in. And so she was like, we have to go to this consultation. It's very important. And so Terica talking about consultation or abortion, you know what I'm saying? She was like, because that's the only reason that people go down there. And so she was like, listen, it's an option to consider. You know, we have to be real about this. And so she talking about some Taylor mama said that abortions basically cause cancer. She was like, girl, are you crazy? That boy-headed old mama don't know nothing, you know what I'm saying? She ain't got but 2 brain cells on, you know, using that had me cracking up, right? She was like, abortions don't cause no damn cancer. So she was like I said, you know, we are just going to see what the options are, and we are going there together. So, you know, Terica talking about, well, you know, should I have, so you think I should have the baby? She was like, girl, I don't know. She was like, you think I shouldn't have the baby? She was like, nobody said that either. We are just going there to see what the options is, all right? So she was like, get your ass in this damn car. So, you know what I'm saying? They get back in the car, whatever, to go ahead and head there. We're seeing that Little Murda's getting all these different messages, right? His phone is blowing up. He done missed a bunch of calls from Wody, like 17. He getting texts from him, you know. We have him getting posts on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you name it, right? Tina Snow done tagged him and stuff. So Wody was calling him at the same time, and he answers the phone, and Wody is basically like, yo, where the fuck you been? He was like, we got these promoters blowing up shit, you know, ever since that Tina Snow drop. He was like, you know, we got to get it together. They want you back on this Dirty Dozen tour. So he was like, you know, we had to cancel because they want to rebook you. So, you know, Little Murda's like back on the tour again. He was like, well, who would do security? And so, you know, when he says that, Wody basically was like, you know, man, I'm really, you know, that Teak shit is awful. And so Little Murda was like, well, I guess neither one of us have to fire him. He already fired himself. And Wody just kind of gets quiet when he says that. And then he was like, you know, I really think that he would have still wanted you to. But before he could finish, Little Murda cuts him off and was like, is he still at F&G? So he was like, yeah, no family has came for him yet. And he was like, you know, I don't know, maybe we're gonna have to put him in Papa grave. And so he Little Murda says, nah, we ain't gonna have to do that, okay? He was like, you know, we gonna take care of him and we gonna send him out like a king. I said, I know that's right, all right. And so he hears something and he was like, I'm gonna have to call you back. And he basically goes upstairs because it was like a thud, and he was like singing to, you know, Uncle Clifford, like, so this is your little secret layer, whatever. Uncle Clifford talking about what you doing up here. And so Uncle Clifford said, yeah, for the few that is worthy. So, you know, Little Murda was like, well, one day, you know what I'm saying, maybe I'll be worthy. She was like, well, you here, aren't you? You know, so then he started looking. He see this shirt on the bed. He picked that up like, damn. He was like, you used to stunt with this or whatever. And so, you know, Uncle Clifford is like, boy, bye, and grabs it from him and was like, that's from a trade of a Christmas past. And so Little Murda started laughing, and then he's picking up this other little red thing, and he was like, I'm not even gonna ask. And so, you know, here go Uncle Clifford, okay, Cisco. And then Little Murda was like, who that? You know, like he don't know who Cisco is. And she was like, what? And he was like, I know who the hell Cisco is or whatever, and started laughing. And so, you know, he picked up the purse and he was like, this is a Gucci 234 BC. So he was like, man, that's my daggone first pocketbook. Okay, I had that since I was 3 years old. And he was like, wow, you know what I'm saying, all the way back then, huh? He was like, so you always used to, you know what I'm saying, dress like this? And he was like, yeah, you know, Uncle Clifford was like, I used to wear this thing everywhere, right? And if anybody had anything to say about it, my mama basically used to beat their ass with it. And you know what I'm saying, they knew not to play around and come and say anything else. They never bothered me again after that. And so, you know, Little Murder was just kind of like, you know, so you always been this way. And Uncle Clifford turned around and was like, what do you mean? And she basically was like, you know, I don't mean no disrespect or whatever the case may be. You know, I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, I don't mean no offense, but, you know, basically, what are you? Like, I guess he's just not accustomed to this. And Uncle Clifford was saying, I'm Uncle Clifford, what are you? And then he basically was like, I'm what the world won't let me be, you know? And so then, you know, he was walking and looking around the room and notices that she still got those postcards up on the daggone, you know what I'm saying, mirror. And, you know, Uncle Clifford had also gave her, you know, the outfit or whatever that she would be able, that he would be able to change into. So he was saying to Uncle Clifford, like, oh, well, you still got the postcards, you kept them. And then she was like, mm-hmm. And he was like, you know, which one is your favorite? So Uncle Clifford was saying that, you know, she likes him in the red, so that one is her favorite or whatever, right? And so basically, you know, he was like, I understand, I get it now, you know, why you wouldn't talk to me that day that I left and you didn't want nothing to do with me and you wouldn't give me the time of day. He was like, you know, you wouldn't let me in. He said, I understand. He basically was like, you know, you was hurt. And so Uncle Clifford talking about something, nah, I don't get hurt or whatever. I was disappointed. I said, Uncle Clifford, let's keep it real, all right? Tell the truth and shame the devil. Two things could be true at the same time. You was hurt and you was disappointed, all right? And so Uncle Clifford says, but I get where you was coming from and why you did what you did too. And she was like, you know, you asked me that question without even realizing what came along with that answer. She was like, don't get me wrong. You know, yes, I love me some me or whatever the case may be. But, you know, I had to go through a lot of things and people don't understand how lonely it could be to shine so bright. And she was like, at the end of the day, I realize now that, you know, you cannot stand in the sun with me. And so Little Murder was saying, well, the niggas I fucked with basically used to be just like me, where they was passing, you know what I'm saying, just like how I'm passing. We just would pass. And Uncle Clifford said, well, ain't no passing with me, you know. But at this point, they hear a noise and they go to see what the heck is going on. And damn, freaking Ernestine done got up and got out the house, y'all. Okay, they can't find her nowhere in the damn house, so they trying to figure out where the hell she went up to. And I said, Lord, y'all really gonna be running my blood pressure up, right? They say she's gone. So then we see that Terica had to run in this damn diner and use the bathroom or whatever. Her and Mercedes had made this stop. And we seeing that Mercedes is looking at this mother and daughter that's arguing or look like they deep into this conversation in the diner. And it makes her kind of think back and have this flashback to her and her mother being in the diner. And she asking her mother, Patrice, where they sleeping tonight. And Patrice talking about, oh, I got a friend that got to pull out that's going to let us stay there. So we see that Mercedes is, you know, sucking her out, you know, sucking her teeth rather. And so she talking about, well, I'm trying to keep a roof over our heads or whatever the case may be. And at the same time, we see this guy that keep looking. Now, at first, I'm thinking he looking at Patrice, but no, he busy looking at damn, you know what I'm saying, Mercedes. So she gonna tell her she ain't got enough for the damn food. Maybe Mercedes could do her thing. I said, what is her thing, Patrice? What is her thing? I'm confused. So, you know, Mercedes is basically like, nah, ma, we good. She opened up her wallet and Patrice talking about, what is that? And she was like, money. She was like, no, that other thing, that. She was like, a condom, a condom. What are you doing with a condom? And who gave you this money? What are you out here doing? Who you been messing with, Mercedes? So she's like, that's my boyfriend. She was like, Cortez, he just take care of me. He loved me or whatever the case may be. And her mother talking about, oh no, we ain't going for that. I ain't gonna let you do that. You ain't gonna be no hoe. You hear me? She start beating the mess out of her. No more Cortez. It stops today. It stops today. You know, you got Mercedes saying, ma, please. And she just going in on her. And again, y'all, I have questions. Okay, please somebody help me out, because Miss Patrice, you sat your ass down to eat and you knew you didn't have money for the food, and you telling your daughter, go ahead and do her thing. What was her thing? What was she supposed to do, honey? And yet you over here getting mad that she had a condom and beating the mess out of her. What is the truth? What was you trying to have her do so that your meal could be paid for? Because I'm sure when you sat your raggedy behind down, you knew you didn't have the money to eat. Okay, that just gave me more questions than answers and pissed me off, guys. Okay, so then we get, you know, Terica getting back in the car and they continuing on their way to go ahead to this daggone place. And, you know, Terica now is sitting here basically texting back and forth with the daggone, boy on the phone. And she's asking her like, oh, well, did you tell him that we going over here to Jackson? No. Oh, do he even know that you pregnant or whatever the case may be? Yeah, he know, and he want to keep the baby. He said that he would be a good father. And she talking about how he's an artist. And, Mercedes was like, that's what they all say. And she was like, no, seriously, for real, he is. And she takes out a picture that he drew of her, which it was nice. And Mercedes says that is nice or whatever. And she was like, well, why his ass ain't driving you to Jackson? She was like, oh, that's right, because he's too young to drive you. And she was like, how the heck is he actually, going to take care of you? Oh, well, he said he could get a job. She was like, girl, he can't get no damn job. What he going to get? Terica over here talking about how he said he wanted to start a family. He going to take care of us. And she was like, well, what do you think about that? And, Terica talking about it sounds nice. And Mercedes was like, of course it sounds nice, right? Anything could sound nice. Words is easy, but living them is hard. And she was like, how he gonna take care of you? Oh, he gonna get a job. She was like, who's hiring him at 14? And again, that was a reality check for me, because I'm like, damn, they 14, like they are too young. At the same time, I'm glad as a young person and not an old man, or God forbid that she wasn't raped or something like that. But it's like, she's letting her know, because Terica talking about he gonna get a job at Crystal's with his cousin. She was like, girl, no part-time job is not gonna take care of y'all. She was like, how much diapers cost? Oh, well, we'll figure it out. Terica want to act like she know it all. She was like, we in love. So Mercedes is asking her what you know about love. And Mercedes said, I could tell you this, what I'm saying? People make a whole bunch of promises, but promises is hard to keep. She said, Cortez had a whole bunch of dreams and promises with her too. And so she told him that she was pregnant. And so here go damn Terica talking about, oh, well, that's probably because you was busy, stripping and all this other stuff. She's telling Terica that when it came down to it, they didn't have shit, and so Terica was like, well, all you know about love, that's not it or whatever. You just was with those dudes on the dance floor, and I think you're jealous because I actually do. And so, of course, Mercedes ended up slapping her, and she took him about, well, if I have a daughter, I'm never going to hit her. Mercedes said, yeah, I said the same thing. I said, Lord have mercy, child. You got to have some patience with these damn kids. So, we seeing Little Murder and them continuing to look for Grandma Ernestine. At this point, Clifford is finding her robe, she finding a slipper, she finding her bonnet, and she like, oh God, she's going for, and I'm like, she's going for what? We hearing this water rushing. And so then we switch to damn Terica, and they're getting them Mercedes again, and they're over here by the clinic, and you got these damn activists outside talking about some murder, with they different little damn signs, we choose life, and you doing murders and you're going to hell and all of this daggone stuff, unborn life matters, think about your soul and all this stuff, don't kill your baby, all these different signs. So we even hear somebody talking about you should be ashamed of yourself, and one of them going to talk about Black Lives Matter. I said, damn well you don't care about no freaking black life, all right? You definitely don't care about kids in general when they out here in these damn streets getting shot up and killed and going hungry or whatever, but you so concerned, what I'm saying, with being a so-called pro-lifer, right? So that was very realistic. That stuff that do be happening. And we see that Mercedes stop and look back, and she's seeing that Patrice is standing there. It's like everywhere she looks, she seems to be seeing Patrice. And then she got head inside, and when they get in there, they basically find out that Terica is 14 weeks and 4 days pregnant, right? And, she's telling her that the window is pretty narrow, all right? She would have to make a decision within the next 24 hours. Terica brings up to her what they said about the cancer, and she was also saying, she was saying about the cancer, and the doctor was like, now who said that? And that made me laugh. And so she sees that, no, it doesn't work that way, and that Mercedes was telling her the truth about that. And when she was asking the doctor, if they do the procedure that way, she was like, yes, what I'm saying, if you do decide to do it, we would do that, but the risk that can be involved is basically the same as if you would be giving birth. It's bleeding, infection, and clots, okay? And there's things that we can do, what I'm saying, to prevent that and to help that. And so at least now Terica is a little bit more informed and know what her options are, right? And so basically we then had Grandma at this water, honey. She was trying to get in this water. She was not trying to hear it. She was almost there. And Clifford and them hurry up and grab her and was like, no, 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 no. Ernestine and, Uncle Clifford saying grandma, and little Murder saying Ernestine, and she's like, I gotta get in the water, I gotta get in the water. She was like, no girl, you ain't waiting in the damn Mississippi. And so she was like, no, I'm coming, Beulah, I'm coming to you, baby. So little Murder's like, who's Beulah? At this point you could see the devastation on Uncle Clifford's face, and he's like, that's my mother. And she's saying, I'm coming to you, baby, or whatever the case may be, right? And so she basically was like, it's time for me to go, and then Uncle Clifford is like, no, 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 we got to get her home now, whatever the case may be. And Ernestine is telling her, I got to get ready, it's time. And Uncle Clifford is like, no, 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 no. And she was like, look, you got to either bring me to the water or bring the water to me. So, little Murder goes and gets the water out, dips that bonnet in there, wets it, and then pours the water on her. And after he does that, she basically reaches up her hand to him, and then she passes out, and Uncle Clifford is like, grandmama, grandmama, grandmother, and then little Murder looks at her hands and said that they're blue, and she's like, that's not good, we got to get her back to the house. I said, Lord have mercy, poor Ernestine. Ernestine is about to be up out of here, y'all. She says she want to go home, and when they start saying I want to go home, it's time, and they seeing those people and they going to those people, that's it. We already know that's how it works. So we get Mercedes and them at the pool or whatever, they got their feet in the pool, they got their pants rolled up, and Mercedes over here talking about, oh, these kids are splashing, they should know when you don't want to get wet. I said, well then girl, you don't sit there and where the pool area is at, all right? And even Terica had to tell her Sadie's that's what kids do at the pool. And so she's still trying to reach Dag on Terica and figure out where her mind is at, and she's like letting her see how this other girl is there that have her kids, that she's dealing with or whatever. And she's like, is that what you want for yourself? And she's basically like, do you want to go to prom? Terica's like, yeah. She's like, do you want to travel? Would you ever want to go, to Paris or Dubai or China? And so Terica's like, I don't know, maybe. And she's basically like, why you didn't never go there? No God wanted to pay for you to go there. So Mercedes was like, actually, no, they did, but I turned them down because I wanted to be here closer to you. And so, Terica get quiet when she say that part. She ain't have nothing to say. And so then, she's like, at the end of the day, I need you to think about what Terica wants for Terica. She was like, forget about me, forget about the boy, forget about Shell, forget about anything else. What does Terica want? And I did appreciate, her asking her that. So then we see that Miss Ernestine is being taken out on this stretcher, and she's saying she not going to come back, all right? And she's taking the oxygen mask off, and, Uncle Clifford is telling her to leave it on, and then she's basically like, I'm not going to make it back. I'm never coming back. And then Uncle Clifford is saying, yes, you are. You're going to get better. I promise, I promise, I promise. And Grandma Ernestine was like, I don't want to die alone. That just broke my heart, man. And she was like, hey, you not going to die. You not. I promise, I promise, I promise. And so the damn EMT was like, we have to go, sir. Her oxygen is 85. And little Murder stepped up and was like, ma'am, okay, and corrected the EMT. And then he was telling Uncle Clifford, you got to say goodbye. And so Uncle Clifford was like, goodbye, Grandma. And so I was like, oh my God, that touched me, because 85 is not good, y'all, okay, as somebody that was in the medical field for 20 years. But it's not the worst either, but it's not good. And I think, because I was even questioning it too, a lot of us was, when we say like, why didn't, Clifford send her to the hospital sooner, or why didn't she go with her? We have to remember, at least here in New York, I don't know, because every place wasn't the same, some of these hospitals was not taking you in. If your oxygen was not at a certain place, if you wasn't in a certain condition, they was not taking you. Even people that was having heart attacks and strokes, they was telling the EMTs to take care of them in the house, and if they couldn't do nothing for them, then oh well. The hospitals was full, the hallways was full, they had no room for the patients, they didn't have enough equipment for the patients. So a lot of people, they was telling just quarantine at home, and it was almost like if you died, you died or whatever. And remember, they didn't even have enough damn places to even put the bodies at. These bodies was being held in trucks and all different kind of stuff. So I had to kind of think back to that, and I think that's kind of what they're showing here. And you couldn't go to the hospital with the person, and there was plenty of people that I personally know and went through it myself, where you never saw them again. They went to that hospital and they was just gone. Some people that could have been critical may have came out of the situation, and some people that you would have thought their situation wasn't even that bad didn't. And so when grandmother unfortunately is saying that she's not coming back, I really have a feeling I mean, it's been foreshadowing it with so much stuff, right? That she really is not coming back. And I was glad that Little Murder was there with Uncle Clifford, you know what I'm saying, to give this support as they was watching the ambulance go away. And that just was like another reality that I feel like they trying to show us. And so then we get Terica talking about, you know, I can't fit these pants. We need to go shopping at the outlet. And Mercedes is getting frustrated, like, you can't fit them because your ass is pregnant, girl. What the hell you think gonna happen? She was like, you gotta come on and make a damn decision. What are you gonna do? And so, you know, Terica getting mad, still talking about, I don't know. And she was like, you know, Mercedes told her, well, that's proof that you're not ready to become a mama then. And Terica talking about, you want to talk. And she was like, excuse me. She was like, how you going to tell me I'm not ready to be a mama when you was never one to me? And so, of course, Mercedes again is saying, I couldn't, you know, Patrice Shell the judge kept me from you. And Terica's like, so they're the reasons why you missed all of the damn appointments, you know, that you had with me with visitation. They're the reasons you didn't come to my 7-year-old birthday party. So we could see that she's still holding a whole bunch of stuff, right? And she's holding it with her and with Shell. You know, at one point she even mentions, like, I'm not going to be a mother that sits there and gets drunk and all of this. And so Mercedes is telling her, like, of course I tried, and everything I've been doing to get you back. And she was like, well, why you still don't have me then? And she goes and locks herself in the bathroom. So we see when Mercedes looks in the mirror, she's basically seeing herself as Patrice. And of course that's the last damn thing she want, right? She don't want to be compared to or looked at as Patrice in any way, shape, or form. She's trying to break these daggone generational curses. And she's talking to Terica through the door saying, listen, baby, I know that I made mistakes. I messed up a lot. She was like, I'm really trying. And of course, Terica's like, so you basically didn't want me. She was like, you know, I would never make my baby feel like I had wanted to get, you know what I'm saying, abortion instead or whatever. And so, you know, Mercedes was like, you're right. She was like, I messed up. And she was like, at the end of the day, Patrice made me have you. And so when you think about it in that context, that's really deep. Like, she actually made her have her, but then made her give her away at the same time. And she was like, you know, I didn't have a choice with Patrice, so I'm trying to make sure that I give you one. And, you know, when she started saying that, she was like, you know, at the end of the day, she did make me have you, but you also was a blessing. You know, sometimes the devil can actually, you know what I'm saying, ends up being like coming through. God could use the devil or whatever the case may be, and it could end up being a blessing to you. And so, you know, Terica did open up the door and come out, and she just basically was saying, it's going to be on you. It's up to you. And she was like, you know, what color do you want to paint your room or whatever? You know, green. And Terica talking about how, you know what I'm saying, that's the color I like. And she was like, because you my daughter, I know you. And so, you know, they basically was having a little bonding moment with that. And so, you know, at the end of the day, she's like, I'm gonna leave it up to you, you know. And so then they go ahead and, you know, when they are leaving the hotel or whatever, she basically is like, I'm gonna let this be your decision. And she throws the keys to her. She was like, are we going to Chuckalisa or are we going to Jackson? And so, you know, they driving down, and you know, Terica basically puts that signal on and turns to go to Jackson. And we see, you know, Mercedes kind of like take a sigh of relief and do a little smile and turn her head out that daggone window, okay? Because she really did not feel that, you know, Terica was ready for a baby. But at the same time, she did not want to be pressuring her to have this baby, because she felt like that's what her mother did to her. And she wanted it to be her decision. You know, we see that Little Murder and Clifford or whatever, like Clifford is in this shower and he's just crying his poor heart out. I swear that broke my heart, y'all. And when he get out the shower, when he go in the room, we see that Little Murder is in here, you know what I'm saying, with all this different costume on. He don't put on different outfits that Uncle Clifford got in here, and got this feather thing around his neck, and he's doing this dance to the damn thong song, you know what I'm saying, talking about some thong, 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 and telling Clifford to get down. And so he basically was able to bring a smile to Clifford's face for a minute, and they both, you know, singing and laughing and dancing around or whatever. And they fall back on the bed, and when they fell back on the bed, you know, Uncle Clifford basically, you know, was like in a moment where, you know, one minute he was able to laugh and kind of release for a minute and take his mind off of things, and the next minute he started getting sad again and crying and turned his back to Little Murder or whatever the case may be. So Little Murder was like, you know, just basically trying to comfort him and, you know, hold him or whatever for a minute. And then we start hearing, la, 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 love. Okay, I'm gonna be the one. Hey, I'm gonna be that one. I was like, yes, Kendrick, come through. That used to be my song. I used to be running that in the ground, right? Lovely, love me. All right, so let me start with that. But anyway, y'all get the point. And so, they start kissing and getting into it or whatever the case may be. And then Uncle Clifford goes to pull out this condom, and Little Murder's like, nah, you don't need that. I'm good. And then, Uncle Clifford like, you sure? And then Little Murder's like, yeah. And I'm like, are y'all both sure? Okay, because we at least know about one each that each one of y'all had out here in these streets, all right? And we don't need that storyline coming into play, okay? But I digress. We gonna move right along. And so they go ahead and do what they doing. And in the meantime, we seeing Terica and Mercedes laid back on the couch laughing and stuff. Mercedes, Terica talking about, is this funny? And Mercedes like, yeah, it's a classic. I'm not too sure what they was watching. But then Mama Woodbine come on the TV, and Terica has sat up, and she was like, girl, don't be letting that lady, get underneath your skin. She was like, that's what she be trying to do, all right? Don't give her that power. And Terica basically asked her, like, am I going to hell? And she was like, I'll tell you one thing. If you do go, I will be right there with you. I said, well, Mercedes, I don't know if that's really going to make her feel better, but okay, girl. But it did seem like it made her feel better, and they both smiled at that. And so then we see in Mississippi and at the house or whatever, and she get a knock, and Derek is like, and who are you? And she's basically saying, she know Keyshawn from work, and she just wanted to stop by. She was on her mind, and she wanted to get her something for the baby. And so Keyshawn come up behind and was like, oh yeah, Derek, that's Autumn or whatever. I used to work with her at the Pink. And he's like, oh, okay. We see that Uncle Murder and Cliff is laying in the bed, and he's saying like, Little Murder said, why did you let me in? And Uncle Cliff was like, because you needed me. And then when I needed you, you was there for me. And Little Murder looks like he about to start crying again. And Uncle Cliff basically was like, when you are ready to open up about it, all right, I will be here. I got you. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet, right? And so then we get back to Mississippi and Autumn. At this point, they standing in the baby room, and the baby is fussing. And, Autumn tells her to give her to her. And it seemed like she's able to calm the baby down. And she started telling the baby like, oh, you want to hear a story? And she's telling the baby about this daggone story where, she was this girl named Haley that was by herself. She didn't have no family, Then all of a sudden she had this baby that fell out the sky, and she felt like she had this family, and she was going to be able to protect her and do all this different stuff with her. But then this hunter came along, and she met him, and his teeth turned to knobs, honey. And that, her tears was basically filling up these bags. And eventually, because she waited so long and waited too late, her baby ends up getting drowned in her tears. And so Mississippi is like, girl, what are we talking about here? What is this story? Okay. And I said, Mississippi, this story ain't that far-fetched. It ain't that much damn crazy than the one that you crawled in the crib and was telling your baby about. Okay, you could read in between the lines. And so basically Haley goes ahead and pick up that bag that she brung with her. And I said, please, I hope that Haley was smart enough to really have a gift in there too. And I hope Keyshawn is smart enough to hide that damn phone, because that's what we was all saying she should do to begin with, is get a damn burner phone. And we don't want Derek to find that, And so she takes it out and sees that there's a burner phone there. And Haley tells her, like, look in that phone when you ready, okay, to learn how to swim, and dial up Haley Carlton, all right? And then she go to leave. So I said, wait a minute now. Is Autumn really going to be the person that might end up helping Keyshawn in the end, y'all? All right? Maybe. Let's see what she got. We're going to see, how it go. And so, she go ahead to leave. And so, yeah, I don't know what y'all think gonna happen, honey. Like I said, do you think Miss Haley is gonna be the one that may come through for Keyshawn at the end? Because if Keyshawn do not get out of this, I definitely do not see her making it out alive at all. All right. Do you think Miss Ernestine is gonna make it and be able to get back home? Do you think that, Shelley is gonna find out what Sadie's did with Terica, and she gonna feel a way about it more than not, not. And what do you think is gonna happen with Little Murder and Uncle Clifford now that they've been able to open up and tell each other how they feel? Will they be able to, reach some type of understanding and be able to move forward in a more positive way than they have been in the past. Okay, that is all the stuff that we want to know. Put it all in the comments. Let's discuss, let's discuss, let's discuss, y'all. All right, give me a wave, let me know you came by, put some flames up in the sky. Okay, like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined. Till next time, toodaloo.